The concept of Room of Wonder harks back to Antwerp's glorious past during the 16th and early 17th century. Katrien Wouters and Grayson Hendrix have tried to shed light on the idea of wonderment from different angles, a unique opportunity to celebrate their brand's 35th birthday. Over time, they have created jewellery at the intersection of fashion, art, humour and surprise. They have a vast archive, and their jewellery is just the tip of the iceberg of stories and rare finds. They chose to display their work alongside objects with a similar or purposely contrasting dynamic. In the golden glow of Palazzo, the designers display their iconic creations that withstand the test of time. Chains are, by definition, flowing and flexible. Curious to know what happens when they're robbed of their freedom of movement, the designers fix 7 chains in solid rings that together tell a story, the chapter's ring. Each ring symbolises a milestone for the wearer, so they form a collection of wearable memories. To the designers, these rings speak the same language as Michel Francois, Pringles and cacahuètes. The pure simplicity and delicacy of the paper-thin gold ring with hammered texture of the New Beginnings collection perfectly complements David Bielander's paper bag. Both possess the same tactility, the same delicacy. Only the pure material speaks. The zip necklace is one of the most spectacular avant-garde creations from the Parisian jewellery house Van Cleef & Arpels. The zip represents a high point of the craftsmanship and creativity in the haute joaillerie. With their team of craftsmen at their Antwerp workshop, Karen and Katrien set high standards. Their team's expertise helps them develop their designs. They want the handwork to be felt in their pieces. This recognition gives greater power to their work. Bronze bird's feet support a gilded tabletop with claw imprints, a design by Merit Oppenheim. The crow's feet of the Gris-Gris gold collection have become iconic. The claw is a powerful symbol that becomes refined and valuable when combined with gemstones and freshwater pearls. It perfectly illustrates the unexpected combinations of materials and techniques that typify Wouters and Hendrix. In the late 90s, they became fascinated with orthopedic devices such as shoulder and thumb braces. Inspired by the ingenuity of these seemingly simple supports, they designed the iconic cuff Embrace in 2000. Hammered in silver or gold, Embrace follows the shape of the wrist. This vase by the English artist Grayson Perry was at the top of their wish list of art pieces they wanted to display. It was love at first sight when they discovered his work 20 years ago. His vases are handmade and beautifully glazed. Upon closer inspection, you notice that they're charged with bold social criticism, creating an uncomfortable clash between form and content. In the antechambre room, we see the world Wouters and Hendrix work in. It's a demonstration of their inspiration, so to speak. They often draw their aesthetic from everyday objects and memories. Flea markets have been Karen and Katrien's favourite playground for years. Time and time again, they return home with numerous curiosities. The mysterious stories held in the objects stir their imagination. Back in the studio, these objects become a part of their narrative. They intuitively fuse different things together and add elements. The graphic pieces on display here are part of the stories. Each collection is a new, exciting chapter. Jewellery with romantic inscriptions inspires them to dream up love stories about previous owners. Karen and Katrine put their stamp on it and reinterpret it for the current times. A jug, a woman's torso by the artist Philippe Aguirre y Ortegui. A sculpture by Evan Holloway. A piece by René Hayward. Ceramics by Marianne van den Bergen. Earrings from the first collection, 1984, the Hammered collection. The cigar box, made in 2004, 20 years of Wouters Hendrix, 20 years of memories. In the last room, they dressed the walls with a hand-painted curtain, an exotic landscape from the 17th century. Enormous blow-ups of jewellery designs were added digitally. It is the artisanal past combined with digital progress. They gave a contemporary twist to old, forgotten artisanal smithing techniques that are in danger of being lost, such as these filigree earrings. Taking objects out of their context and giving them an entirely new purpose is one of the intrinsic hallmarks of Wouters and Hendrix, such as the safety pins unusually joining heavy and finer necklaces together. They alternate refined romance, punk, and polished brutalism. The cardiologist Boyadjian's Mysterious Hearts collection, which includes both profane and religious hearts in both precious and everyday materials. Each heart tells its own story and has its own history. The Surrealists are a big source of inspiration. Wouters and Hendrix love a tongue-in-cheek style. The Rue de Bicyclette by Marcel Duchamp and his mini museum in the shape of a travel case. Art pieces by important Belgian surrealists such as Leo Domen's photo collages or the beautiful L'Introuvable by Marcel Marien. For their 1994 Marie Danielle collection, they collected all sorts of objects: buttons, keys, paper, an enamel coat of arms from a teaspoon, religious charms. With these finds, which a person might collect throughout their life, they made precious jewels, as if to tell someone's life story. In 2016, they designed the Too Many Husbands, Too Little Jewelry collection, inspired by the movie In the Mood for Love by Wong Kar-wai. Their starting point was its sultry, charged atmosphere, its sensuality and suppressed desire. This brooch, with its enlarged lips and blood-red crystal, suggests this yearning. Karen and Katrine are also genuine romantic fools with a fondness for symbols and jewellery that refer to love, such as the heart shape, which embodies emotion and is universal and timeless. Sometimes it isn't the form, but the material that evokes memories, such as these rings with mosaic inlays, which are reminiscent of old men's jewellery. Throughout Wouters and Hendrix's 35-year history, Karen and Katrine were fortunate to work with several fashion designers. The Antwerp Six, Raf Simons, A.F. van der Vorst. At each opportunity, it is very enriching to submerge yourself in the imagery of another designer. It broadens your horizon. The arm piece they made for Dries van Noten in 2000, the eye for Dirk van Sane, the star for Walter van Beirendonck. Behind each piece of jewellery at the exhibition is a long story. Each collection came with a challenge to tell the story in a new way, with new techniques, new materials, a different composition, a new mix. It's a never-ending search.